Greetings, geeks. There was no theme song, so everything seems sad and lonely. I'm Rob Taco. This is episode 601 of Geeks in Space, and I am here today with two of the greatest geeks that you're ever going to meet. I got a Chris DeBona.
Hey.
And I got a Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
It seems so lonely without that music. I don't...
Sure.
I don't feel, like, hyped. You know what I'm saying? Like, ready to rock.
Ready to watch Evan and Caitlin do resin time?
Do resin time. They have plushies.
Well, it's weird because they end up using, that music, and it pulls me out of their reality when they do it.
It actually, I have exactly the same problem every time that Evan and Caitlin do they use our music, our freely stolen from the YouTube,
the free audio
the
library.
Free audio library, yeah.
We got a lot to cover.
We do. Well, I'll just totally start by going off the taco zone and noting my background. Mystery Science Theater 3000 today, the Satellite of Love. They are doing another Kickstarter to get another season. Netflix didn't pick them up, so they're going to try to kickstart another one. I gotta say, I actually really enjoyed the last season.
Did you like the reboot? I didn't watch it.
I enjoyed it tremendously. I thought that everybody was having fun. I thought the riffing on the movies was great. I thought the movie choices was great. I thought it was at least as good as a Mike episode.
Well, you're not saying something.
But I mean, I enjoy that show. I enjoy that whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, I honestly didn't watch the reboot. I actually faded out before Mike even came on. I got super into Joel. I had the card for the fan club.
Sure.
But yeah.
There were a couple episodes that were really funny, and then
a
lot that were, not as funny.
Less fun.
I have a controversial opinion.
Oh.
If it wasn't for Mystery Science Theater 3000, what's that?
That was me. You guys are getting the Law and Order theme song, but the channel's not, so that's weird. I'll have to figure that out.
Okay.
Don't worry about
it. Are you listening to the channel while we talk?
No, I'm looking at meters.
Okay. I was just going to say my controversial opinion is I bet you that Mythbusters wouldn't exist without the invention exchange of Mystery Science 3000. I will ask Mythbusters people about this and see if it's true.
Do you think that Joel's construction of inventions led to Adam's construction of inventions?
Yes, I do. I think there must be a connection.
Maybe. Here's an even more controversial opinion. I almost universally hate the invention exchange.
Really?
Show. Yeah.
Why is that? Too
I just don't think they're funny.
That's fair. I enjoyed them tremendously, but I always looked forward to the commercial breaks because usually by the time the commercial break would hit on those shows, they needed a little breather from the movies because the movies were bad anyway.
Yeah.
But I also watched those in the era where it was commercials, so
all the plot going along with it and the little skits behind were almost universally much worse than the actual meat of the show, at least in my opinion.
That's fair.
Like the Mike era or the Joel era? Because the Mike era was kind of like, it seemed more forced to me.
The Mike era, I think, had more skits.
Yeah.
The Joel era. But I could take or leave both of those things.
By like
I just want to see him making fun of a movie. That's it.
By season 8 or 9, I found the sketches kind of unwatchable. But through season 6 or 7, I was definitely
you had a relationship.
I was watching all the sketches, man. Look, I said this on Twitter. I had a Mystery Science Theater fan club card, number 42346, sitting in my wallet from 1992 until at least the early 2000s, and that poor piece of paper was just, you could see through it. It was like onion skin from being in my wallet for more than 10 years. I loved it. All right. What do we got on the list? Can I find the right tab? A metal band made up of cats. I didn't listen to this yet. Is this was this a Zen link?
Yeah, sure was.
It seems like probably.
I mean, To be perfectly honest, it's barely worth sharing.
Oh.
But if you want to listen to it, have at.
We just need like 3 seconds of Catera.
Oh, I wanted the behind the scenes stuff because I want to see the kitty. I'm gonna mute the sound.
You're gonna mute the metal cat band?
Oh, there's a kitty.
There's not a lot of meowing.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
There
I
was a
gave you
meow.
your singular meow.
All right. Cool. All right.
Cool.
I'll send that to my wife.
I think that Roseboom must explain what delighted him about that post that would lead you to.
That I didn't expect for us to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You ever have those things that you just share? You're like, this is slightly amusing. It will give you 10 seconds of an aside. That's
Fair.
what that was.
Fair enough.
But unfortunately, none of you listened to it and just put it on top. So here we are.
That's the kind of solid production that you expect from a show that doesn't even have a working soundtrack for the theme song.
Yeah.
Are you going to be hard on yourself the whole time for this, Rob?
Oh, dude, you know me.
No, I do.
All right, let's see. So, erotic fan fiction about the ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal. This I definitely didn't read.
Yeah, I got as far as bulbous bow, and I was like, "Yep, okay, I'm gonna stop." So.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting because a lot of it evidently is written from the canal's point of view. so it isn't like porn. It's like, anthropomorphizing the boat and the canal.
It's nice to get representation.
Yeah. So, and I thought, when I read the title, I thought, well, of course there is, because,
Yeah, that makes
Common
sense.
tropes in the genre describe the Suez Canal as lonely and longing for a lover until the ever given with a bulbous bow, and that's where I stopped reading. So there you go. And that's where I'm going to stop reading it, otherwise this channel might get flagged.
Christopher says that they're actually getting the theme song on the stream, so I guess it's just
I'm
me.
sure you're wildly relieved.
Oh, yeah, this is the most important thing.
It's like your Suez Canal has been filled with
Right. That's right. With a bulbous tanker truck or tanker
with the
vessel.
ever given of accurate audio streams.
That's right. There was so many weird stories that came out of that Suez Canal thing, like how they were framing like the only Egyptian or the first Egyptian lady boat captain or whatever. Like they were blaming her. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, and she's like, I'm on the shore.
I'm
nowhere
even
near
there.
this thing. I was out getting tested.
Weird. I didn't watch the new Game of Thrones trailers out of spite. I refuse to watch anything to do with Game of Thrones season 8 ever again.
So I did watch it, and it's basically a spoiler-heavy season 8 trailer that they released as the 10th anniversary of Game of Thrones. I'm like, what are you people doing? This is a weird way. Hey, everybody, remember that show you loved until the very last season? Let's talk about that last season again on the anniversary of the show you loved.
Yeah,
very, very interesting move.
I can think of almost no piece of media that Star Wars Episode 9, the weakest one in the franchise, maybe. Absolute garbage. Didn't kill the franchise. There's still reasonable things happening. It made a bunch of fans pretty damn disappointed for a real long time. I couldn't give two craps about anything to do with Game of Thrones or anything to do with any of their spin-off series ever again because that was so bad.
Yeah, it would be as if we went to monetize the podcast and we led with a heavy metal cat video.
Totally. And no theme song.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the theme song went through is what.
Right, but I still keep talking.
You should pay attention to the audience, Rob. That's what happened at HBO, So what kills me is there's like 6 prequel, sequel adjacencies to Game of Thrones coming on HBO. It's going to be like the HBO Game of Thrones hour.
They have canceled
every hour.
At least one of them.
Oh, really?
But they're still doing multiple spin-offs.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean,
I really liked it.
It was really good for like 5 seasons.
They really. wow. I mean, it was breathtaking how completely off season 8 was. Just saying.
I've never seen a franchise fail so badly that it ruins. Like, okay, I'm thinking of other Indiana Jones 4 does not
Yeah,
take
but
away from the fact that I still think 1 and 3 are good and would rewatch 1 and 3. My computer just
it's okay.
my computer screen just turned off. That's weird.
Hmm.
My screensaver. Is the stream still running? Yeah, I mean, like, it takes a lot. Like, the Game of Thrones was so bad that it ruins seasons 1 and 2 and 3 because you know that the stuff that they set up gets ruined.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Blarg. The Overly Attached Girlfriend, the original graphic,
NFT.
sold as a NFT.
You already made a huge mistake. An NFT is not the original graphic. It is a reference to the original graphics home on the internet. So it's a GUID referring to this location on the internet.
Right. They
and
don't
it's not
even
they're not
embed-
getting rights. They're not getting anything, except for a string of numbers that refers to Lena's thing. Now that said, I'm happy for her.
I hope
right?
does she get that money?
Yeah, that was to her.
Good.
Right. So I'm like, you know what?
Good.
That's solid, right? I mean, the reality is she actually sold the rights to that video to a company, and they saw none of those. And so I wonder if this is going to be the first NFT lawsuit where it's saying you're selling rights to things you don't own, right? So it's a very interesting case.
When are we going to sell the NFT for Scumbag D&D player?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We should get that one right up there. I was trying to figure
thing.
out how to do it, but it's like you got to have an Ethereum wallet, and I don't have an Ethereum wallet. And
work.
then you got to, and it's like, it was like $80. Like, this ain't worth $80. Well, let's see.
Well, what's funny about the whole, so Harper Reed created fake.sale, where you can basically buy references to NFTs.
We should wait. So you can buy NFTs referencing NFTs.
Yeah. Literally, you're buying a knockoff of an NFT.
Bootleg NFT. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be great. Yeah. So it actually would be really funny to build an entire website that was just NFTs of screenshots of other NFTs. That would be so great.
Yeah. So, he's got all the prominent NFTs.
Oh, good.
The problem is it says connect your wallet. I have no idea how to do that because I'm an old person who doesn't buy into this stuff. But anyway, but yeah, this is I thought this is very classic Harper Rye humor.
It's good stuff.
And people have already started buying from this site, by the way.
Oh, Harper.
Oh, Harper.
That's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
He's such a sweet man.
All right.
All right.
Prince Philip died.
Yes, I know. No one actually cares.
At age, well, that's not true if you were to look anywhere on the internet, because every website now that's a regular news website is all about this guy that like nobody's really cared about in decades.
If you've watched The Crown, I mean, you care about Prince Philip. He was played by Frank from Outlander. He was played by Doctor Who. So I mean, he's gotten some great actors to play him. That's all I gotta say.
That's true, but I mean, I don't know that we measure the importance of a person by the caliber of the actor who portrayed them.
And I think in a way we do, right?
I mean, an awful lot of really great actors have played Hitler over the years, right? I mean, Taika Waititi alone. All right, Schmadoff Mittler.
Well, no, that was his uncle, who was the backer of them, who would review the Nazi troops.
Who said he bought a jar of space jam?
No, I saw that.
I hope he's telling the truth, and I hope that
is it a jar or a recipe? I couldn't tell what she was selling. So.
I hope it was the jar. I would like to see screenshots of Amblou eating his space jam to Chris, I need you to explain to me with your mad science skills the muon experiment and what this means to me.
Okay, so a muon is a particle about 200 times the size of the electron.
I know that.
It is generated as part of cosmic rays, and it affects magnetism, gravity, and the weak nuclear force. What happened was our friends at Fermilab, which I believe is in Chicago, outside Chicago, they have been basically flinging muons around through a quantum foam, which is a group of particles that blink in and out of existence, basically from vacuum potentials. Anyway, the nice thing about quantum foams is you can measure them and you can see the impact of a particle across the quantum foam. And I'm at the borderland of my knowledge here.
All right, good, because you lost me at quantum foam.
Quantum foam.
Don't worry about the quantum foam.
Do you make?
Yeah,
do
anyway,
you use
long
quantum
and short
foam
of
to
it
make
is-
latte art?
No.
Sure, you could draw a little heart in it.
Little leaf?
Yeah, and anyway, long and short of it is the magnetic force was as measured, but there were other effects that they attributed to the gravitational or weak force that were beyond what they expected. So this points to what they call as a new physics, or really a new interaction between muons and the observable universe. And that's where we are. That's all we know.
Right.
We know they're doing
So,
stuff. We just don't know what,
Something
where, or
exciting's
how.
happening.
When the muons vibrate or move, they create other quantum particles, and the charge it has is different than what we would expect with the quantum particles that we know of.
That's
So
right.
either it's making new quantum particles that we don't understand,
Mhm.
or some basic fundamental that we think we know is wrong. But not like wrong so that you're going to turn into a table or anything, just wrong in that mass might be different, or maybe somehow dark matter is involved, stuff like that.
You know what I really like about all of this stuff? I like that every couple of years we figure out that there's just more stuff in there than we thought.
Yeah, it's nice, huh?
And I like that 100 years from now, they are going to think that we are idiots because we didn't know about the 58 things that we're going to discover in the next 100 years that are going to make all of this like, oh yeah, of course, that's how it works. Like I feel like we're just barely at the state where we think that if you adjust your humors, will defeat diseases and stuff. Like we're basically at that level.
Well, or if you change your catalytic converter, you'll be able to, get better sound out of your muons.
Right? Look, we're still burning lead gas. And we haven't figured out that the lead is causing everybody to have birth defects and be crazy.
No, we took lead out of gas.
No, I'm saying that's the stage that we are at for physics.
Ah, okay.
We figured out how to make a combustion engine. We just have not figured out how to, get around without burning poison.
Yeah. Honestly, I love these shots. I did a shot like this of the compact muon solenoid. And I'm like, oh, it's so cool. They have a 360 view. This is so bitchin', So like, yeah. And look at this. So you have these little skids with recording modules for pulling the information out of the line. I mean, it's cool, man. So exciting.
Well,
Look at all that power.
Oh, yeah.
Look at those instruments.
That's science right there. It's happening right in those racks.
It's a calorimeter. You know what that means? You know what that means, Rob? That means that's probably lead tungstate, right? Because lead tungstate is beautiful. It's literally transparent lead blocks that weigh like 40 pounds for like this big. And when a particle goes through it, it like etches it. It's so cool. So cool. I've tracked down the factory in China that made it for the CMS instrument. And I'm hoping they have some extras lying around that I can just buy because they're not that expensive, right? When you buy 40,000 at a time. And I know they have extras. So
Wait, you said buy 40,000. Do you buy it like in the, what do you buy it in? Like by pound?
I would not buy 40,000 of them. Here, I'll show you.
I'm trying to figure out what it is you're trying to. You said a block of transparent lead, which makes me think Scotty invented it to protect the whales.
Right. Here, let me open this image here. So this is the little promotional photo.
That looks like BS.
It is not BS. This is exactly
That's
what they
lead?
have inside the. It's lead.
That's
it's a
so
lead
cool.
crystal.
If
It's
you remember-
so cool.
That's what the Doozers built all their stuff out of.
All right.
Until the Fraggles ate it all, of course.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
That's the
Yeah,
problem.
see, here's an ignet of yeah. So that's an ignet of lead tungstate, and before they cut it and polish it. So
Wow. All right.
right,
But it still weighs.
So don't you want one of those?
Yeah, I do. But does it weigh as much as lead?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So it's like heavy as crap, right?
All right.
So
Cool. I'm in.
you can see why I want one.
Yeah.
Right.
I could see 1,000 things that you want to do with those.
No, I don't want to do anything with it, but I want to have one. You know, so like it's like if you go to the CMS, you can buy like a tape of data, you know, from CERN. How cool is that?
That is cool.
right?
That's a good souvenir.
Wait, I got another souvenir.
You just escaped through a black hole into the Tron universe. The grid.
A hard hat.
Yeah.
So I got to keep my hard hat for my visitor.
There you go. You can.
Let's continue.
Wow, that's that does not fit on your dome very well, sir.
Well, it's because I had the headphones on. There you go.
All right. It looked cooler when it was all up high.
I'm a simple man.
That's fair. Okay, just a quick one. Well, we got a couple left. Ingenuity has now dropped its helicopter. The blades are expanded. They're gonna fly.
That's exciting.
Soon. It is soon. It is cool.
They're calling her Ginny.
Ginny. So we got Percy and Ginny.
Yeah, that's great. Ads. All right, well, that has an ad. We're gonna go back to.
It has ads.
LinkedIn doesn't need our filthy audience, you know.
Blue and Magnum are gonna, and Christopher are like, but we need to see that ad. We need to know if we can buy more Space Jam 2.
Right.
Okay. Monkey Pong. So Elon Musk, is that what's happening? Elon Musk wired monkeys up to computers to play Pong with their brains?
Okay, here's the thing. This monkey has his neural lace, which is basically just a bunch of leads going into his brain, and then it goes into a little port that's actually near this piece here, and communicating wirelessly with a bank of computers, and it's playing Pong, which is pretty exciting, right?
Sure.
Who doesn't think this is exciting? That said, that monkey's dead in 2 to 3 weeks. You know, it's
Really?
just like, yeah,
Oh.
yeah, and it's a little depressing. I have to be honest with you. I think it's a shame to kill the monkey. You know,
Maybe it's dead in that time.
yeah, it could last as long as 3 months before the leaves start fouling.
Oh.
You know, and, yeah, and that's a little. This is a little depressing. That's all.
Well, that super
I mean,
sucks.
Yeah, you know. And people didn't talk about the dead monkey. They just talked about how exciting it was that he was able to play a game from the 70s.
Right. I mean, had they played Night Trap, then they really would have worried about the monkey. Would have had congressional panels, and you know they would have got Tipper Gore to complain. Video games kill.
Oh yeah, the video game.
Yeah.
I just think it's a shame.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was like destructive to the monkey, like permanently.
So here's the thing. So
I'm interested to hear where Chris heard this. To be honest.
Okay, so here's the thing. When you do animal testing for deep brain stimulation tooling, what happens is after about 2 to 3 months, those leads go bad. And in humans, they just leave them in, and it's a sterile environment, and they're usually made from a metal that doesn't interact past that, so they don't get an infection.
Sure.
And sometimes they'll insert more leads over time until they just can't anymore, and then you just suffer from Parkinson's as you were before. The animals they use to test these things, they need to look at how they fouled. They need to look at what happened, and the reality is they don't just. The point of animal testing is you try to see what happens, you know, after the fact. So
sometimes that's the point of animal testing, for sure.
Well, I mean, In this case, they're going to be taking apart this monkey in his brain and taking a look at
Sure.
the after effects. If there's little singe marks around all the leads,
I guess here's the part that makes me sad. I got no problem if the monkey dies. I got no problem with that.
Well,
We
I
think
it's
eventually die. What makes me sad is the notion that it would die
dying for Pong.
within weeks of Pong.
Yeah.
Like, if it was a couple of years, like, I don't know what the life expectancy, but that seems like a crappy experiment because you got to raise a monkey up to a certain age, to like get it to be able to do this stuff. Like, there's a lot of investment in this monkey, and then to just let it die in like a couple of weeks, that's horrible.
What if you had it playing Tetris?
Better, like maybe like Civilization.
Is there a level of the video game that it's okay that the monkey has played the video game and now it has to die? Is it about the video game or just the death? Because you said you didn't care about the monkey dying.
No, it's more about it. Like, it's super sad. The part that kills me is that, I assume you have to train the monkey for a year. Like, you have to raise a monkey for like a year.
So this is a 9-year-old monkey.
Oh, that's so much worse.
No. I mean, monkeys live 10 to 50 years.
Oh, okay. So it's a senior citizen monkey, so that's okay.
Really not. I mean, if they can live to 50, they can, live past 9. But the thing is, remember, they don't want the monkey to die of something else. They have to look at the leads after the fact, right? I mean, so I hate to say it, they have to kill the monkey, see.
They have to
at some point.
They have to kill a monkey or several monkeys.
Yeah, they've probably got dozens of them.
You don't know that this is the monkey that has to die.
Well, that's true.
Right.
That's true. Right.
Well, to be fair, are we even sure that this monkey is really the monkey?
Oh, I mean, I have no reason to doubt it. I mean, and the thing is, I'm not against animal testing. I think animal testing is an important step before human trials, right? I mean, I love animals; they're great, but I also love humans, and this is
I got
the
family
step
members
before
with
you start
Parkinson's.
messing with.
I got family members with Parkinson's. We can lose a few monkeys if we figure out how to, help that out.
How to help them.
But
right?
I mean, the thing that made me sad was just the
notion
that
cheap,
it was
though.
3 weeks from test to death. Like that's a horrible end for a creature that deserves better.
Yeah, I mean, they can't afford it to die from an infection. They can't afford it to die from, other monkeys throwing feces at it or whatever. However, monkeys die in the wild.
Monkey paintball.
Monkey paintball, monkey, a horrible banana accident in the Suez Canal, whatever.
My understanding is that a lot of monkeys die by falling off of the Chrysler Building or the Empire State Building.
Oh, sure. After they've become enormous.
Some of them fight giant lizards.
There's a bunch of them that get hurt jumping on beds, too, I've been told.
Oh, that's true. That's true, yeah.
At least one of them had to live with Michael Jackson, and I felt really bad for that one, too.
Well, what about...
that was an 8, so that's okay.
They're okay. They can all die.
The curious monkey broke his leg falling off the bed, so, and he had to live with a man in a yellow hat for
I blame the men with the yellow
plus.
hats.
Yeah.
I think that the men with the yellow hats are notorious for murdering of all monkeys.
I think we should continue. Speaking of monkeys, there was another thing I posted. What did I post?
Well, we did have one just quick note. Netflix lost 9% of their market share. They were massively dominant, but now we are finally seeing the upper bounds for adoption.
Oh, okay, I don't know if you read the article. I didn't. Did they lose 9% of market share as the market grew by 2 times, or what?
Yeah, but the other thing is that Netflix was also, I don't remember the number. The Netflix is at like 70% adoption or whatever. So for everybody else is gaining, and Netflix is losing.
Netflix market share went from 29% at the beginning of last year to 20% now. Despite that, the platform continues to lead the market with 74 million subscribers. So it looks like the number of subscribers overall has increased, and they just haven't maintained their dominance.
Their dominance, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I just think that's interesting because we've talked a lot over the last 20 years about debundling cable and all that, and we're finally seeing the other end of it.
That's right.
Until, of course, all the streaming services get together and rebundle.
Yeah. And
we have the same thing we'd have with cable before.
Yeah, right.
They're doing everything in their power to make that impossible right now. I have an Apple TV and a Google TV, and neither interface is capable of properly bundling all of the different streaming services. It's amazing.
I think they're just going to take all the streaming services that have a plus on it and make them one bundle.
Oh,
Just
TV
called
Plus.
Apple Plus, TV Plus, Peacock Plus, and Disney Plus.
I don't want to
They're all the
shop
same.
there.
Discovery Plus.
Yeah, so I posted this in the channel. It's Godzilla versus Quickie Mart. You know, I loved it. I thought it was so cute.
Who needs the Quickie Mart?
Yeah, it's a water monitor going loose.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, in a
Yeah,
store.
I knew you'd know.
They have these, like, this is one of the, they just passed that law in Florida.
No, because they were flushing gators.
This was one of the issues. There was a bunch of water monitors that would, you'd find them at your front door. They'd attack your dogs. They, not as big as like a Burmese python or anything.
Yeah.
But still, something that size could absolutely take a small dog or cat.
I don't know what country this was in. It's got like, it looks like
Thailand,
Malaysian. Oh, it's Thai. Yeah. Yeah. It's a hell of a lizard.
Yeah, they're big.
I just like walk in. You're like, ding, ding. Oh, good. And I get you something? And he's like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to hang it over here by the warm exit battery.
Ambalu posted into channel a story about heavy water. It tastes sweet to people, but not to mice. And all I have in my brain that heavy water is not real. And the reason for that is because in G.I. Joe, they had to get heavy water in order to build their weather dominator. And there was a significant plot line in an episode of G.I. Joe where they had to go get heavy water, which lived in a lake at the bottom of the ocean. And they needed that to build the machine to rule the world for Cobra Commander.
Skeletor.
So anyway, because of that, I think heavy water is not real. Like, in my brain, it is like got a block. No, that's BS. That's G.I. Joe. That's not real. And I know.
So it is a real thing. And it is in the ocean. There's plenty of heavy water in the ocean that you can separate out. I don't know if it ever stratified into a river of heavy water at the bottom of the Challenger Deep or whatever.
Or a lake where Scuba Joes have to shoot at
Scuba Joes.
Scuba Cobra
God,
Commanders.
I hated that show. It was so dumb.
Scuba Cobra.
That and He-Man is the worst animation.
They were rough.
And they were the progenitors of you throw a grenade or a bomb and people just sort of like fling away and they're okay and run away and then they're going to kill robots, but they're not going to kill people. And I'm like, it's okay to kill Cobra. They're trying to kill everybody and take over the world. You should just murder them as opposed to letting them just hop away.
You can't murder, dude. You have to keep the kids on there for 20 minutes so they know to buy the commercial or to buy the toy, and then at the end they need to learn what's the line? Now you know.
The more you know.
The more you know. Knowledge is power.
No, knowledge is half the battle.
Now there you go.
There you go.
Knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
Hey kid, have you been bullied at school?
Hey. Don't stick your tongue into a power outlet.
Hey, don't drop your pants at the grocery store.
Knowing is half the battle. G.I.
Joe. Yeah.
Don't throw yourself into a bonfire.
Don't throw yourself into a bonfire. Even if you are at the University of Texas. Anyway.
That show was on for a time, I believe, at 5 o'clock.
In the morning?
In the afternoon, after school, in the era where I had to go and be at a daycare or a babysitter or something. And I just remember sitting and waiting every day after school, hating G.I. Joe, and just wishing that my parents would get there to pick me up, which they usually got there around 5:15, 5:20, so I didn't usually have to see that knowing was half the battle. Let's see.
Did we talk about the Oracle lawsuit last time?
I handed it to you, and then I think we just went away.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about it?
Nah, that's fine. I've been doing victory laps all week, so I'm happy. So.
Yeah, it's a weird one. The idea that somebody would think you even could patent essentially, can you patent a .h file? That's
the patents were thrown out almost immediately in the case. Then the copyright claims were thrown out immediately. Then they tried to make the copyright claim on APIs. and function calls. So
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. That doesn't seem
Well,
logical to me.
the court actually disagrees with you, right? So if you look at it, they didn't address the copyrightability of APIs. They just let that stand because they're like, you know what, it's fine, but it's fair use to use similar layouts of functions and to use these function calls for compatibility, because otherwise the computer industry wouldn't freaking exist, you morons.
Right.
So yeah, so so it's fine. I would have loved for them to said, you know, function calls aren't copyrightable; they're just collections of facts. Da, 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 da. But you know, this is a great outcome for the computer industry, for Google, for Android, for Linux. I mean, it means that we can continue to try to create compatible shit, which is great.
Can you imagine? Okay, I had one more, and I think
12 years of my life, Malda. 12 years.
12 years. So tired. So very tired. I don't know if I saw it on your list. Man looking for friends who shipped him overseas in a crate from 1965.
Yeah. That's a charming story.
This is a weird one. And this is
I'm surprised he didn't die. You know?
Well, he nearly did.
Yeah, this one reminded me of the German tourist who was in Maine instead of San Francisco. Right? It's like that sort of thing that, you know, everyone jokes about, well, I'll just mail myself or whatever. And this guy actually did it back in 1965.
And he's like, how's it going? I'm going to live forever.
All right. So yeah, what was the story was essentially that he went to Australia on a 2-year work contract and had to couldn't afford to leave, hated it. So his friends crated it up, and then they accidentally shipped him to America instead of back to the UK. And for a time, they said for like a day, he was literally doing a headstand because they flipped the crate up. So he was literally upside down for nearly a full day.
I mean, it's literally torture. But like, yeah, no. So he was originally supposed to be on a nonstop Qantas flight or stop for fuel or whatever, but it was full. And they're like, it's a crate. Send it through Los Angeles. So, yeah.
Cliff is asking about Jeffrey Ullman. I don't know anything about that story.
Jeffrey Ullman, huh?
I guess you'll have to figure out.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So, okay, here's what happened. So, Aho and Ullman. Ullman wrote one of the seminal texts, the Dragon Book, for computer science. They were both given the Turing Award this year by the Association of Computing Machinery. And then some folks online found a bunch of stuff. Ullman saying, basically, I can't, in good conscience or something, take on Iranian students because they want to kill us all and kill Israel. Ooh. And so he kind of got known as the computer scientist that if you're Iranian, you don't go and try to join his doctoral program, right?
Wow.
And so a number of people online were like, ACM, you should have known this before giving him the Turing Award. And they're like, yeah, okay, probably. And that's sort of where it's sitting. So.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was a little minor poop storm.
I'll have to read up on that and get super depressed.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he definitely deserved a Turing Award, for his scientific achievement. I mean,
it would just be better if he was the one being oppressed, because then it would fit with the whole Turing thing, right?
Oh,
yeah, right.
Who
they're going to put on the? Is it the 50-pound note? They're going to put Turing on the 50-pound note. I'm like, that's a nice way to say you're sorry.
Sorry about ruining your life.
Right.
It was heartbreaking what happened to poor old Turing, Yeah.
There's a lot of folks that are a little bit off the beaten track, and the universe shits on them, and that makes me grumpy.
Well, yeah. And, the thing is also, this will sound really insensitive, but I sort of hero worship Aho, because he created Awk. He worked on all this stuff. And I'm picturing, he's like, he gets his Turing Award, and then all the stories are about this racism stuff. And I'm like, but what about Aho? He's all right. Everyone, look at Aho.
So wait, they gave did they give the award to the two guys for work together, or was it just two simultaneous awards?
It was two simultaneous awards, although they characterized it because of their work they had done together.
Okay.
So, because I think Aho and Allman wrote Sips, the Dragon book together.
Hmm.
Oh no, it was shared. It was shared because of their work on the compiler's book. So
That sucks.
I think it's Cliff telling us. Yeah, Cliff's giving. Cliff, why don't you just join the channel? Are you in the middle of teaching a class right now? Anyway.
He's informing. He's educating. He's educating his students.
But you'll recognize this book in a hot second.
I'm looking at the page right now, but I didn't see the cover.
So I mean, Monica Lamb, Sethi, Allman, and Aho. So, yeah.
Man, that sucks.
It does suck. I remember reading this in computer science school. I don't know if I still have a copy of it, though. I might.
Anyway. I had one of the, Falcon and the Winter Soldier tonight. They released the Zemo cut, which was actually really funny. Marvel just posted a big
the Zemo cut. Is this him dancing or whatever?
Yeah, the joke was that they cut a whole bunch of Zemo material, and so Marvel literally just strung together like the same 8 seconds of Zemo dancing from the show, and then ran it for like in an hour loop as a video, which was really funny with all the releasing of cuts. I actually watched a really interesting thing that kind of makes sense, and I'm going to be keeping an eye out for it for the rest of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because the show itself is not that good and I need other things to look at or to think about. Here's the theory. We know that the show originally had some sort of pandemic or vaccine plotline, and it was scrubbed out because of the sad times that we live in. There was a bunch of things that they're saying, but basically watch for 80-yard lines. And the theory is that the original plot line had a whole ton of, basically there was a pandemic and presumably it was affecting one population and not another. And there you go, the Zemo cut. It's just the same, 4 shots of him looking bored in this club for an hour.
But so there's a bunch of dubbed out lines about, I can't believe the virus is going to kill half of humanity now.
So you see the flag smashers or whatever, and they're stealing, and they refer to it as stealing resources, and they use lots of different words. But the theory...
Oh, like in the warehouse scene.
Yeah. The theory is that stealing a vaccine was actually a big deal in the original plot line. And because it's too real, that they edited and 80-yard some lines and changed some scenes around, which is maybe contributing to why the show is kind of a hot mess. Because they kind of like the way that the last couple of episodes of WandaVision fell apart. They clearly had something else they were supposed to put in there instead of those weird scenes where all the actors are standing socially distant from each other and talking. I don't know. Mm-hmm. If WandaVision had just been Darcy and the FBI guy, you would have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's like you need to have more elevated, people to care about than all the B players. That's it. Daniel Bruhl. I don't know if you ever saw Goodbye Lenin. That is a fantastic movie. I understand he has a huge fan following, but I can't really.
He's like the biggest actor in Germany, But Goodbye Lenin was about it's a family in East Germany before the fall of the wall, and their mother goes into a coma, and when she comes out, she's only going to live for a couple days, but she comes out after the fall of the wall, and she was very much a good East German lady, and so they basically recreated East Germany for her so that her last days wouldn't be horrifying because she was so proud of being an East German. And it's honestly one of the best movies that's ever been filmed. It's so good.
So he was in Inglourious Bastards.
Yep.
I don't remember him. What was his role?
I think he was just a Nazi or whatever.
Just a random Nazi.
Just a Nazi.
He wasn't Schmadoff Mittler.
Nope.
Adolf Schmittler.
He might have been. I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm just looking through his list. He was in that last Cloverfield movie, which was just awful.
Oh.
I'm glad that we're just looping Zemo. That seems like a good way to go out.
I'll share. Here, I'll give you a picture of Prince Philip instead. Is that,
Oh
is that
yeah,
what you want?
yeah,
There you
cool.
go. Because that's I know what you're all about.
Oh yeah, I'm big on the British royalty. I got I got one of those March Madness brackets to see who's going to be the next king.
Look at all the. Did you see all the best in show medals he had? I mean, that's very. It's very. It's crazy.
Well, you know, they sort of famously love their King Charles Spaniels. King Charles. Yes. So, yeah.
Very impressive.
All right,
Very impressive.
let's go about our days, gentlemen. Goodbye, Chris DeBona.
Goodbye, Mr. Malda and Mr. Roseboom.
Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye, everyone.
I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I can't hear the music, but you can. Thanks for watching Geeks in Space. See you Tuesday.